Are you looking for a podcast about a chalice full of blood?
Well, then you must be thinking of another podcast.
Oh! Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty good.
Good.
I don't know if it's like the cooler weather, but I feel like good shit is coming. It's about to be like holiday season. I mean, we're in a holiday season right now.
Yeah,
you know?
I just like we're neck deep in it.
Yeah, and then like we're gonna do it again next month, and then it's
We
gonna happen
sure
again next month, and it's like I'm ready. I'm just ready for this.
I actually don't feel ready this year, to tell you the
really?
truth. Yeah, I'm not in the spirit yet, which is unusual for me. Like normally by July, I'm like, bring on the Christmas, but
Yeah.
it hasn't hit me yet. Although I am putting my tree up on November 1st, which is
Nice.
the day this comes out. So as you're listening to this, know that my tree is up.
Well, actually, we're probably not gonna ban the season because I think Taylor is going to ban Christmas now
Oh, what happened?
because we went to Costco and they have a really nice like fake tree with pre-lit lights and shit in it,
Yeah.
and it's fucking really awesome.
Oh, man, we got a tree.
And it's
from...
like $700.
Yeah, they're like fucking expensive. We got a tree
Yeah.
from Sam's a couple years ago, and it's like very tall. It's like 9 feet tall,
Jesus.
inordinately tall. And it's
Yeah.
it's pre-lit and it's pretty, and it's in like 3 pieces. So you just like boom, boom,
Yeah.
bam, tree's up, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we looked at that one, and she just, like, stood in there and cried and hugged it, and people were like, ma'am, you need to let go, and she was like, get away from me, and it was the whole thing, you know? No, but it was a really nice tree, and, like, I half thought about it until we looked at the price, and I was like, it's just not happening.
Yeah,
I was like, no,
that's
it's
fucking expensive.
it's done. I would rather spend the money on, because Taylor's really into nutcrackers.
Oh yeah,
She fucking loves nutcrackers, and there's a life-size nutcracker at Costco right now.
life size is in like it's like human height.
Like people-sized.
That's terrifying.
Kelsey, it's huge,
I don't like that.
and he's cool. Like, I like him.
Okay.
Uh,
Speaking of cracking things, though, can we
Oh, yeah.
pop this thing?
I'm fucking ready. I've been waiting to get into this Dr. Pepper all day. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
I've been hitting the sauce kind of hard lately. I've been doing like 3 a day.
chugging them peps.
Speaking of Costco and stuff, I went to see James Bond with my mom and my dad last Sunday, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'm going to go do that. And normally I take the puppies with me. But I was like, well, we're going to be in the car, and then I'm just going to put Bulbasaur back in a crate and then leave Jinx to go see Bond, to then come back, put him back in the car, and then drive him back home. I was like, they're not going to have fun with that, right?
No, that doesn't sound like a good time.
So I left him at home.
Okay.
And I was like, just make sure Bulbasaur poops before you leave for work, because Taylor goes in a bit later. And she goes, no poop. He didn't poop.
Okay.
And I was like, well, this is going to go bad. I wanted to get gas, but I get gas at Costco now.
You're just like fully in the Costco realm.
Dude, Costco's gas is 30 cents cheaper every time you get gas.
You have been dipped in the Costco sauce by your heel.
I have already made my money back and then some
Okay.
on the membership, right?
Yeah.
We really should just upgrade to the bigger one and get the credit cards, and they pay us to go in there. That would
Oh
be
my
great.
God. You're going to go into so much debt in Costco.
Nah. Does Sam's do gas?
Yeah.
Do you ever get gas at Sam's?
Not really.
Is it any cheaper?
I have no idea. I've never
God.
looked at it, honestly.
Because, I mean, Costco is like 30 cents cheaper. That is a big difference.
That's pretty significant. Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
So I remember when Buc-ee's first opened, they were like 30 cents cheaper than all the surrounding gas stations, but now, and I'm
They're
talking
not.
about now they're not. They're like equal to everything else. And I'm like, it was a scam to get me used to coming to this Buc-ee's.
Yeah. They might be 5 cents cheaper, maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but it's never like a big difference.
Yeah, I never go there shocked anymore. But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I should look at getting Sam's gas.
Probably should. But since Costco's 4 minutes away from me,
Yeah, that's not bad.
the main reason we got the membership was for the gas.
Yeah, the closest Sam's to
Taylor
me is
wants
like
the
a
gas.
20-minute drive up the highway, so it's not like I can just pop on over to get some gas.
Yeah, it's probably not great. But every time you get gas, it's at least a 30-minute ordeal because the line for gas... They have people that are strictly like traffic enforcer people at the gas spot all day long.
Oh my god.
Because so many people go there for gas.
That's ridiculous.
I know they fill it up at least once to 2 times a day.
Okay.
Like, the big 18-wheelers come and, like, refill the tanks.
Fuck,
They
that's
go
so
through
much.
a fuck ton of gas. Well, it's so cheap. And I didn't know that many people had fucking Costco memberships. Costco is always packed with people. I thought it was a bit more like, ooh, you know, like, people don't want to do
Costco.
that. Yeah. So, I went for gas. It took like 30 minutes. And I was like, this is going to suck. Bulby's going to have made a mess. Right?
Yeah.
And, like, I knew he was going to make a mess. But I didn't think he was going to, like, be spiteful about it.
Oh no.
So this is going to forever go down as the Bowlby shitstorm of 2021.
Oh lord.
Because he shit in his crate 3 times.
3 times?
3 times.
Oh my god.
He just, like, rolled in it, I guess.
Oh no.
And it was... And somehow it came out of all 4 sides of the crate onto the carpet outside of
Oh my
that.
god. He was just pressing his asshole up against the grate and letting it spray.
Yeah. So this is I'm gonna send you photos. Oh wait.
I don't want photos, Robert.
Hang on, I sent it to the wrong place. I have to get rid of it.
Where'd you put it?
I put it in the secret Discord.
Oh no.
Delete.
Don't do that.
Like,
One
what
person
the fuck is that?
One person will have been watching and like they see a picture of shit and then it disappears. Like,
It's like, what?
Robert's secret fetish? What was that?
So this was the outside ring.
Good lord.
I mean,
That's-
he's a tiny dog and it's a tiny crate, so it's not like a huge surface area.
Yeah.
But like, look at just the little nuggets.
Yeah.
On all sides.
That's quite a lot of nuggets. That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting like shotgun spray mess, you know?
No. I mean, it was all pretty solid.
Okay.
But then there was like the bed inside that was just the true horror of
Bulbasaur. I have to delete this. I'm not looking at that for the duration of the show. Oh my god.
So
that's
anyway,
fucking gross.
I was cleaning for 4 hours after I got home.
I would have just thrown it all away.
Because
including the dog.
yeah. So all right. So I just picked up the crate from by the top, walked it outside with him in it, right? And then I like scruffed him and got him out, and then immediately gave him a bath. I was like, "You're first."
That's good. Is there like a dog washing station at your apartment? Like you have a
No.
hose outside or something?
No, that was the
Man.
bathtub.
Oh god. Your poor bathtub.
That was the bathtub, and well, so like our like guest bathroom, we have like the spray shower head
Yeah.
just to give the dogs baths and stuff.
Okay.
So give him a bath. It's all good. He smells great. And then it was the carpet. Because I was like, all right, the crate's outside. That can stink out the world. I was like, I'm going to do the carpet. So it was like picking up all the pieces. And then the carpet shampooer thing, which I ran over it like 4 times.
God.
And then I had to let it dry because when we were potty training the cats and they would keep missing the litter box,
Yeah.
the carpet was just so stinky.
Yeah.
So Taylor found this like baking soda, like pet stuff, and you like sprinkle it on the carpet, and then you let it sit for 30 minutes. You vacuum it up, and like it fixes the carpet, and it is fucking a miracle.
Nice.
What that thing does. Well, the carpet stinks still, so I did the baking soda stuff, and while that sat for the 30 minutes, I threw his bed in the washing machine all by itself. And I had it rinsed 3 times.
Okay.
I did it in the hottest water.
It still doesn't feel like enough.
Heaviest soil with a full load of detergent, which is normally for like a extra plus load. All for the one item, plus a full fabric softener load.
That's a lot of shit that came from that little dog.
Yeah. If you let him, he'll poop like 5 times a day.
Oh my god.
Like full solid poops. He is a tiny poop machine, that dude. So anyway, clean that, and then I got like paper towel and our green spray, and then by hand like cleaned every single rung on that whole crate. You know?
Yeah.
And then by then, the carpet stuff was done, so I got to vacuum that, do all that, had to light a candle, ventilate everything. And it's like it never happened now.
Good.
But it was a sight.
That's
when I discovered it.
I don't even know how I would react. I would just put the dog outside and forget that I ever had one.
So basically now, I will never leave him home alone again.
Yeah, that's a mess. If you want to see photos of that, are we allowed to post photos of shit on our Instagram?
If you want to see photos of that, you know how to get in touch with me. You need to request them from me personally. Okay. And then I'll give them to you.
Great.
So anyway, in better news, I saw a funny TikTok and I wanted to ask you a question about stuff.
Okay.
I saw the funniest TikTok ever. It was like the year 2077. And this lady's like, Dad, look, we just can't anymore. We have to put you in this home. They're going to treat you so nice here. Things are going to be great. I'm sorry. And the dad's just like, oh, oh. And then the kid's like, hey, Grandpa, I'm doing an essay on the early 2000s. What's Vine?
Oh, boy.
And then, like, the mom goes, no, why did you do that? And he goes, oh, I don't want him alone. Oh. And then they're like, oh, my God, make it stop. And he's like, look at all those chickens. And he's just saying, like, different Vine things, right?
Yeah.
And it made me think, are old people not really senile? They are just quoting the things they found funny when they were younger. Can you imagine when we are old and you're talking to children in the future and you're like, some kid's like, look, I got an A on my report card. And then you just go, good soup. What the fuck are they going to think about that?
I don't know if, like... I don't know if today's old people had memes when they were growing up, you know? Like
I think they did.
They must have different. Had something they didn't call memes. I don't know.
Well, yeah. But like I think we're going to be kind of the first generation that, you know, like had the internet in that capacity, that we're going to be fucking weird when we are old people.
Nursing homes are going to be lit, fam.
Like you're going to be in this old folks home and you know, the kid's going to come to see Grandpa or Grandma, and he walks by this room of, like, old dudes watching this TV, and it's just going, we love the moon! Doop, 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 doop. You know?
A potato flew around my room last night.
So, me and Taylor were just thinking about all these things that, like, we would say to a kid that they would just be like, what the fuck are you talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any and every Vine is intensely quotable and would be weird. I would say weird taken out of context, but that's the thing about Vines, that there's just no context anyway, so that's why it was so funny.
Like, I catch Taylor doing the, still haven't found my berries guy, like, all the time still. She still quotes him, like, way too much. Can you imagine, just when we're old, would we teach the younger generation these things? Would we be like, hey, you got to check this out. Look at all those chickens. And they're like, why? And we're like, that's funny. And
This
they're like,
is humor
no.
in my day, Sonny.
And they're like, why is that funny?
God.
Like,
Back
like-
in my day, we call you an epic fail.
like, like you with your nieces now.
Yeah.
Do you ever present them a thing that is just so far removed from their generation?
No, I have no idea how to talk to children in the first place. So
That's how you talk to them. You just say memes to them, and then they'll be like, that's cool, I guess. I just can't get the idea of being old and quoting Vines out of my head, and I think it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen or thought of.
that's how it's gonna go. I mean,
I cannot wait for that future.
I hope that like Vine compilations, I know that they're uploaded to YouTube currently, but whatever
Yeah.
like permutation of that we have 50 years from now, I want them to still exist, you know?
Well, then I was thinking, you know how every generation brings stuff back?
Yes, unfortunately.
Are we going to turn like 60 one day, and then like one day we're out and there's just these kids that are like, good soup, and you're like, oh. And then you like walk over and be like, I was there. I was
I know
there
the
when that
good
was
soup."
made. Good soup. And they're like, you can't say good soup. And you're like, I invented good soup. You fight with young kids about, I did this. And I feel like that's what people do now when they're like, bell bottoms were for before.
Yes.
You know?
Man.
Because I've never understood it, but I feel like this is my side of the world that would be what I fought with. Like, you didn't come up with what are those? Like, we were around
my
for
God.
what are those.
We were in the trenches.
Back up.
You don't even know.
We fought for what are those, okay? I don't even know if there was a question there. I just wanted to bring you that thought and let you mull on that for the rest of your life.
Thank you for that.
Constantly wondering, should I tell a younger generation about this?
I mean, we won't have to wonder for very long. I feel like the younger generation's about to have their own kind of memes, and we'll feel so
Yeah.
alienated from them. We'll have to bring it up
We
just
already
to feel alive.
They already do. The
Yeah.
whole, like, sheesh. And all that shit.
Yeah,
I
know.
fucking hate that shit. But, like, they probably think, well, look at all those chickens. It's so stupid, you know?
They just don't understand.
They don't understand, and I don't want to understand. Sheesh. I don't like it. I hate it. Although I find it so amusing of an idea, just like what it is. I'm like, that's interesting, but you'll never catch me just out in public. You know? I can't do that one. I feel like I'm a little front-loading this, but I have more shit for you.
Okay.
I just want to tell you about this. I talked about it. Zombie Tramps Kickstarter went live, right?
Yes. Like the second... well, it went live, what, last Tuesday, right?
It was the 21st, so last Thursday.
It was right after our stream, because I
Yes.
remember you and I were on together, and you
Oh,
looked at
yeah.
your phone.
For Friday Roundup, yeah.
Yes. So tell people what happened.
Well, so this is what happened, and I've gotten over it. It's fine.
Okay. I'm not over it.
If you were one of the first 75 backers, you got this really cool like metal card. Like it's some exclusive like tin metal Zombie Tramp card thing. And
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. It's fucking
Like
cool.
holographic Charizard, but zombie tramp.
So I was like, I got this. It says right here, 8. Yeah, it was 8. I can't even remember now, but there was a time, and it was PST, which makes sense because this guy is in California. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Pacific time to Central is 2 hours ahead, so okay. Yeah, it said like 7, so I need to be on at 9. Cool,
Right.
we're good. So, we're doing all the stuff, and when we got done, I checked my email, and I had an email from 30 minutes prior that said it went live. And I was like, motherfucker, did it early? We're doing a whole PlayStation 5 shit right now? Because the PlayStation 5 pre-orders were set to go live on a certain date, and then all the
Yeah.
stores just did it like a week before.
Yes. I
So if you
remember
were
that
waiting
chaos.
on that date, you're fucked now, right?
Yeah.
So I was pissed because I was number 382
Man.
out of 7. So, like, it was the first 75, and I was 382, so I was way outside the limit, right?
Yeah.
And I even called my mom pissed. I was like, I'm fucking pissed, Mom. The guy fucked me. He fucked me over. He released it early. What a jackass. And I was like, look, it says right here. It says this time. It says EST. That's Eastern time.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh. He started it on time.
That sucks, though. I'm so mad for you.
Okay. And so I wrote him and was like, I read it wrong. And he just goes, sucks. But I was hoping that maybe that was like the incentive and then he'd like release him as some of the stretch goals.
Yeah.
That is not a thing.
Boo.
He has posted a lot of the stretch goals, and I just wanted to show them to you because they're fucking cool.
Okay.
This was funded. This was the fastest any of his things ever got funded, and
Jesus.
It is sitting at the most right now.
Funded in seconds, it says.
Funded within seconds.
I wish to one day attain that level of fame and notoriety.
Yeah, he wanted $8,000, and since being on here with you right now, it has gone up at least 1,000 because it was sitting at 940 something backers when we got on.
Wow.
Now it's at 959. I wanted to show you some stuff because he added some of the new shit on there.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I would need some of that shit. And I think you might get a kick out of one of them.
I love all the different art styles that come with Zombie Tramp.
So yeah, it's all different people that like he works with.
Yeah.
So like this guy is actually the guy who drew the cover that I saw of her for the first time.
Ah.
TM Chu. And it's funny because I don't really like this cover.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't really like any of these exclusive covers. Because I told you I really wanted a Bill McKay because he's my favorite person that draws her.
Yeah.
And I don't like this cover.
Oh.
I don't like it. And then there's another one that I was into. But, well, okay. Actually, I really like this one.
Yeah, that one's cool. That's like pinup style, Betty Page.
Yeah. I love this one. But I was like, I don't know. I don't need it.
Whoa. Some of these.
This one?
Jesus.
Woof. I kind of like this one. It's like shiny, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool. But I was like, eh. I actually liked this one because it said, I'm back. Right? But look at this tiny face.
Yeah, that's a weird little face, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was like, well, ruined. Anyway, this one went like a little too hard with like foot detail.
Oh, wow. That dude is into feet.
Yeah, big time.
These are like lines and wrinkles on her feet. Like intimate little details.
I know. Like, none of the rest, but just right. Oh, yeah, right here. Like, shink, shink, shink. I like this one, but I only like this cover with the glowing eyes.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Okay, but anyway, these were the stretch goals. So, have you done Kickstarter before?
I don't know if okay, yeah, we've Kickstarted a couple of board games.
Okay. So, when you give money to them, usually they'll be like, all right, like, we have what we want, but if we get more than we want, we'll give you more stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if you hit a certain goal, you just get more free stuff without having to pay more money. You just get more than you paid for, right?
Yeah.
So, he's giving out stuff, and I was like, holy shit. So, I get a Zombie Tramp patch.
That's cool.
Like an embroidered patch, which I think is cool. A 10-inch. So, here's another patch. With her in a coffin, all black and white. That's cool. Then here's more of these cards.
Ooh.
I don't think they're metal ones like the other one.
Okay,
but,
just random collector cards.
Yeah, but it's like stills from the flip book that I'm already going to get that does this.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't it fucking cool?
Flip
I love
book.
right there where it like exhausts her changing back. I think that's really neat.
Pretty awesome.
So it's just like little cards from that. So I mean, I'll already have that flip book, but now I have these.
Yeah.
Like, all right, a sticker, which is cool. But I really wanted to tell you this for one thing.
Okay.
That I thought you'd really like.
Is it a waifu pillowcase?
No, but I did buy that.
Oh my god, amazing.
You were so into me having one before, so I bought this one.
Yes. I want this for you.
I bought it.
This is the life you need to live.
I bought it. I really want this hoodie.
Oh, that's a cool hoodie.
So anyway, she has a book. I honestly can't remember what it's called. I think it's still just called the Necronomicon.
Okay.
Right? And so she has a book that she reads spells from, and that's kind of how this happens, where she can, like, change from, like, a person back to the zombie and shit.
Okay.
So she can turn into a person at will, but she has to, like, speak a spell.
All right.
And the spell book can do a whole bunch of other things, and one of the storylines in it early on was that a kid, like, scanned it into a computer and uploaded the spell book to the internet.
Oh my god.
And so kids all over the world were downloading it and using spells and, like, fucking with other kids and shit.
Okay.
So there was a whole, like, bullying arc where these girls were, like, using the spell book to fuck with a girl.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, that spell book, when she speaks the stuff, it's like a weird set of symbols on the page.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really know what it is that she's saying.
Okay.
Because they reached $120,000, by the way.
Good lord.
Do you know what he's giving us? I just thought you'd like this.
A decoder?
He's giving us a cipher.
Oh my god, cool!
So now you can go back to any issue of Zombie Tramp where she's using a spell and you can decode what she's saying.
That's amazing that he, like, actually put in the work to create his own cipher and wrote out actual spells instead of just writing random symbols and shit. Like, that's dedication. I love that.
Yeah, so if you want, I'll give you all my books and you can decode all my stuff.
Homework.
Homework. So yeah, I'll give you some homework to do.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Then I get a 4-inch enamel pen, which I'm super into, but I think I'm going to pay the $10 and get the kinky version.
Okay.
And then I thought you'd like this one. You like Nirvana?
Sure.
He just finished his first exclusive cover for the stretch goals, and we have a Nirvana-inspired cover.
It's just Zombie Tramp, like, floating naked in the pool. Wonderful.
So, yeah, there's a cute kinky and then extra kinky.
Whoa.
Anyway, I went into this whole thing basically to tell you I have a cipher for you to decode stuff with.
Excellent.
Which I think it's kind of dumb that, like, it's right here.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's right here. But, like, I'll have a physical one, I guess, right?
Yeah, sure.
But, I mean, he put a picture of it up on the Kickstarter, so you could just copy-paste, and now, boom, everyone in the world has it.
Yeah, that's a little odd. I wonder if he was smart about it, he could have, like, done a fake cipher. Yeah.
Like, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, I have homework for you. So every page that has a spell on it, I'll just send you a screenshot.
Fuck yeah.
And then you got to tell me to drink my Ovaltine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Don't thank me just yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know what you'll think about this one. I've just been getting into some weird shit, okay?
Okay.
I've been listening to some podcasts at work. Like, trying to get back into it, so maybe we can start doing No Sleep again.
Fuck yeah.
I was doing one that I had saved. It was from when The Last of Us came out.
Uh-huh.
And so it's a year old, but it's them going all through the story of part 1 and then all through the story of part 2. It's
okay.
like deep dives with the creators and everything that it means. And I think you would love it. I think it's very cool. The director said something that really bothered me. And I had to learn about this. I know that I've showed you the Rat King from The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
The, like, big, like, amalgamation of bodies that are just fused together, right?
Uh-huh.
You remember that.
Oh, yeah, vividly.
Okay, well, here he is again. So, he's talking about, how they came up with stuff in the game, and then he said yeah, the Rat King, he's based off of Rat Kings, that, like, are a thing.
Are you about to tell me that you just found out about Rat Kings?
I just learned what a fucking Rat King is.
It's the worst thing in the whole damn world, isn't it? Oh.
Why? So, then we can be spared photos, because I don't really like them.
No,
They freak me out.
Don't send me any photos of Rat Kings, please. Listeners, don't Google it.
Why do you know about a Rat King?
I don't know. I think it was something that was also in video game media at some point.
Taylor said that. She's like, I don't know. I just know.
Yeah, I just know it's a thing.
And
It's
I'm
a
like,
terrible
why?
thing. It's like, so for people who don't know, it's like rats. Like the concept of it makes my tailbone hurt. It's like rats that get stuck together in the sewers. Like they'll sleep in a pile or something, and their tails will get tangled up, and like so entangled that they can't
get away from each other.
Yeah, so they just like become a mass, and then they like get more rats into it, and it just becomes this like tangled ball of rats, and they live that way, and it's just so horrifying. It's truly horror right there.
It's like a real thing, and I was like, wow, I thought they like came up with this idea to be creepy in the game when this whole game is always based off of reality, and I should have thought, how did they come up with that?
Yeah.
Because, I hear Rat King, and I think the Nutcracker.
Is he in the Nutcracker?
Well, the Rat King is, like, the bad guy in the Nutcracker.
Oh.
But like, he's just a rat that is a king of other rats. He's like a rat king, which is different than a rat king of massive entangled animals.
Yeah. There's definitely like play on words with Rat King in media, because I've definitely seen lots of little like Rat Kings, which is very cute. They have a little crown. It's a thing. But yeah, Rat Kings, the horror that is Rat Kings is bad.
Yeah, I never knew that that's where this idea came from, or that it was so on the nose with why it was named such.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gross.
Yep, I just learned that like 3 days ago.
Okay.
And
I'm
was
sorry
like,
for you.
do people know about this? And it seems like people do. So you guys can tell me all about how I just don't know my history. But I guess I don't. Because I never had heard of rats living in the sewers entangled into a mass of bodies.
Yeah.
And it freaks me out. Like, I wouldn't even look at the photos. Taylor was just like scrolling through them like, yeah, I know all about this. And I was like, I don't even want to see. I still haven't really looked at the photos.
Yeah, don't look at them.
I just don't want to.
No, you don't need it in your life. Like, it'll burn into your brain.
Yeah, no, I already gave in and looked at the pony jar thing. Like, we're done.
I did not, and I'm not gonna Google a pony jar because I can imagine what it is.
We're good.
I can imagine what it is, and I don't need to see it.
We're good.
You want to talk about happier stuff?
I do, because I'm getting, like, itchy about Rat Kings right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I finished Korra.
Fuck.
Yeah, you gotta finish Korra.
Yeah, it's just like another person that's just left us in the dust. Okay.
You know what happens at the end, though, right?
With Asami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I guess spoilers for the final season of Korra, final episode.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. at least that one piece. Like, everybody knows that already.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a thing.
I didn't know that it was canon. Like, I've always seen fan art, of course, but like, dude, I didn't know it was a real thing.
When we first started going into Korra, and you were like, "Yeah, I keep seeing that, but like, why is it such a thing?" I was like, "Because it is a thing."
Yeah, apparently.
Well, like, it's not even a dream. I just wanted to be like, it's the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have mixed thoughts on it.
I was gonna ask, did it feel valid?
So
by the end.
Here's the thing: is like they spent a lot of time building their friendship, Korra and Asami, and it was a really like beautiful female friendship, and it just was organic in the way that it developed over time. They started by like being rivals, fighting over a boy, and by the end of it, they're just like BFFs.
Yeah,
and then
fuck boys.
Fuck boy.
Yeah.
And then like at at the very end of the episode, the very end of the show, they're just like both sitting there looking out over some mountains and talking together and just talking about like, I don't want to go back to the party yet. I'm exhausted. I just would rather sit here with you. And they have this really sweet moment where they're just like gazing out at the mountains, and the mountains, which this is really cool. they're colored like the bisexual flag, like the sun is setting over them. So there's like this, like the sky is pink, and then there's like purple light on the mountains, and the rest of it's blue. And I was like, holy shit.
Okay.
And then they like, they have a moment where they're like, let's go on vacation together. Let's get away from everything because it's been a crazy couple of years and we deserve a vacation. And so Cora's like, let's just go into the spirit realm. And they walk over to the spirit portal and they hold hands and they look into each other's eyes. And I was like feeling something, you know, I was like, is this, are they about to kiss? And then it just ends. And I think that there's so much room for interpretation. Like if I was not a person who was extremely aware of the bisexual flag, I probably wouldn't have picked up on like, oh, they're gonna date, or I would just be like, oh, they're gal pals having a good time in the spirit world. I think the problem is that I watched Steven Universe first.
Okay.
And I was absolutely spoiled by the amount of like gay love we got in Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Like that show hits you over the head with like all sorts of LGBTQ plus stuff. You get the full experience. It's like, oh, everybody can love everybody and it's fine. And gender is a spectrum. And this show, it didn't do that. It was very much just like, it was really, I'm trying to find the words for it. I don't know. It was so subtle. It was just so subtle.
Well, I think it was also the first.
Yeah, so
this ended first, so I think it was like, you know, we're gonna do it, but we're just gonna like, we're gonna nod to it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So that like after this, I know that everyone always talks about like Cora's the iconic bisexual haircut, and so I was like, I had to Google. I was like, okay, Cora bisexual, just to see what came up, and there was a post that the creator of the show made. I think it was on Tumblr because, of course, it's on Tumblr. They were saying that they were only allowed to show like kind of nuances. They were allowed to allude to like maybe there's more than a friendship here, but they couldn't actually have them like confirm it, and they couldn't kiss. They couldn't do anything like overtly homosexual. You know, they had to keep it like PG because it's a children's show, which pisses me off because Cora is nothing like a children's show in my eyes. I feel like we've talked about it before several times. It's the grown-up version of Avatar. And I think that they had plenty of room in there for two women to kiss, but it didn't happen. And I know that the creator wanted it, and the creator did confirm, like, this is canon. They are together. They are bisexual, and they love each other.
The only thing I can give you to that is, you know, this was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And Steven is Cartoon Network. And I feel like Cartoon Network has always been leaps and bounds about the boundaries.
About, like, breaking down boundaries?
Yeah, I mean, Adventure Time was such a weird show. Like, I remember when that show started, I thought to myself, why does a show like this exist? It's like 10 minutes of, like, nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I was like, why would a network release this? You know? But it like started a whole new type of show, and Nickelodeon's never had a show that way. I mean, they had Ren and Stimpy, sure, but that was like gross out stuff. It was never boundary stuff. It was never pushing what a cartoon could be. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the structure of it. There's always like regular show breaks out that boundaries too. Like they take an idea and they're like, what if we made this as acid trippy as possible? And like, that's what they do.
And Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Like, Cartoon Network, I feel like I have grown an affinity for them because of the way they treat animation. They give it free reign.
I grew up like on Nickelodeon watching that only pretty much. And as an adult, I've grown to appreciate Cartoon Network so much more.
I feel like I'm the same.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm more interested in the end. because I've never seen the mountain thing. I've only ever seen a spirit portal thing.
It's so subtle. If you blink, you'll miss it. Let me just Google Korra bisexual mountains so I can show you. Bisexual mountains.
Like, I know this scene 100%. Like, I've seen that image, because when it ended, it was just like, Korra's gay! And they, like, would always show the scene of them holding hands right here.
Yeah.
So I have seen that image for, like, 8 years.
Yeah.
But I've never seen, I guess, this thing before it.
Oh, and it's almost kind of the pansexual flag, like in a way, because it has that yellow beam in the center.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so you see how, like, it's purple and then, like, pink and blue, and it's just, like, all the colors and the stripes.
Yeah. Now let's pull up these flag. Okay, well, so here's somebody that, you know, put the bi flag right next to it.
Yeah. It don't get much clearer, right?
Pretty
for
much.
For a children's show that can't say it out loud. They're like,
And
but look at the
then-
mountains.
Would you say the pansexual flag?
Yeah, so the pansexual flag is like a blue
Okay.
bar. It's vertical stripes, like Italy.
Yeah.
And the blue bar on the left, the pink bar on the right, and then the yellow bar in the middle.
And so I can see that too. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that goes both ways. Ha.
Hat.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I probably wouldn't have picked up on that. Especially with, like you said, how fast it goes.
Yeah.
I'd have probably been staring at them and not the mountain range.
Yeah.
That sucks now because Taylor's going to hear this and know it beforehand, and I want to know if she would have picked up on it.
Oh, you have to watch it before this episode airs. You have to hurry.
I'll be like, all right, you can't listen to the next one.
Okay.
Or at least a certain part.
Yeah.
We got to
Have
watch
her skip
Korra
the spoiler
first.
tags.
Okay. I mean, you're talking about that, but now give me a rating.
I loved this show. Like, it was so good. It touched my heart in all the right ways. It was beautiful. It was well done. All the characters had growth. It did a time skip, but in a way that worked. I was like,
Okay.
I was really impressed with it. It's honestly so well put together, and I'm happy that they did it in just 4 seasons. I think that it's the perfect little package that they had a story to tell, they told it, and they got out.
Yeah, I might just be like, all right, we're going to watch like 2 a night and get the show done.
You gotta get it out. I mean, they're not even that long, and half of them, by the end of the show, you're just like, I need to know what happens next. So
Yeah, I will need to look up like any like part ones, because like I knew that the end of Avatar was like a 4-show block. So I was like, all right, we got to watch.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, we watched all of Avatar, the first series, in like 2 days.
Shit.
I mean, like, we watched it like all day for 2 full days.
Oh my god.
Things kept getting in the way of this one. It just didn't grab us the same.
Okay.
I still like it as much,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as magical as the first one.
Would you want to rewatch this whole series from the beginning?
I mean, I've thought about it,
Yeah.
but in an effort to beat you to the punch, we were just going to start it later. But
Yeah.
now that it's already over, I mean, I might as well.
You might as well.
Because I still think season 1 is one of the best seasons of television that has ever existed on this planet.
Yeah, I still can't get over. Like, the
I love
story
season
beats
1.
in Korra are so good. I could honestly talk about it forever, but
Yeah,
I shan't.
I shan't.
All right, you want to take a quick breakarooski and come on back?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
So I've just been picking up all the pumpkins and I eat them so that I can try to do all my trees.
Do you just eat an entire pumpkin?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
And you got to eat 10 of them to fill up your belly.
Oh my god, that's so
Yeah,
many pumpkins.
so like I'm just grabbing them by the stem and then just like rolling them in my teeth, just and then I
That's-
just eat it. You know,
like a corn cob?
I'm gonna say like an apple because it leaves like a nice little core at the end.
Okay,
You
a little
know?
pumpkin core.
Yeah, you just kind of like stick your teeth in it and then you rotate it by that stem and just like peel out all the inside but the core and you just throw the husk away.
God.
I was actually really pissed because I had him eat a pumpkin and I was like, that's like 2 or 3 points in my belly, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking 1.
I hope that the food system they're introducing gives you more points. Like, if you make a complicated food and you eat it, it gives you, like, 5 or whatever.
Because I saw that in the demo. When
Good.
you, like, cook a food from, like, your ingredients like that, you get 5.
Fuck yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But I was like, but this is a fucking pumpkin. This is a whole pumpkin to myself. And it's going to be 1. So I was, like, eating 10 pumpkins at a time. And I was like, this can't be healthy for this guy.
Folks, Yimtope is a 2-person operation from tip to tail. Just the 2 of us make this show all alone, and we are able to do that because of the power of our patrons. Just this month, we were able to increase our data plan with our host server so we can actually bring you longer episodes like the last couple you've been listening to. Did you notice they were long?
Yeah, they were.
If you like that, if you love Yimtope, if you want more Yimtope in your life and you want to support us to that end, you can check out what we got to offer over at patreon.com/Yimtope. If you want to go even beyond that, if you want to wear our good name in the streets, you can go over to our Yimtope apparel store. The link for that is in the show notes. Get you some Yimtope gear. Get a coffee mug. Crack one open and pour it into that coffee mug and drink it with us. Thank you so much for supporting us. We love you guys a whole bunch. And now back on over to your regularly scheduled content. I was thinking some more about our last episode where we talked about Metroid.
Yes.
And how we both kind of came to the conclusion, I think, that if a game's hard and you can't beat it, tough titty, right?
A little bit.
I kind of have rethought that.
Are you going to be on the everybody should be able to experience every story camp?
I might be on that camp. So I listened to a podcast called The Besties, which is a relatively popular video gaming podcast. If you are in the world of video gaming, you probably heard of it. It's pretty good, and I recommend it. I just listened to their latest episode that came out on October 22nd, and I would like if y'all would listen to that episode as well. There's this organization.
Send it to me, and I'll listen to it tomorrow.
Okay. There's this organization called Able Gamers, and
yeah, it's my favorite charity of all time.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I've given to them so many times.
Well, that's great. They talked to their chief development officer about, like, the importance of accessibility in video games, and it kind of changed my mind on things, because I wasn't thinking that, like, because a video game is hard, it's inaccessible, you know? Yeah. I was just thinking that, like, I guess I'm viewing difficulty of a video game on a separate spectrum to accessibility. Like, if Metroid is difficult for people because it's not accessible, then that's a different conversation, I think, than you and I were having, right? Because I'm thinking
able gamers is more people with disabilities that they cannot play a game like your average person.
Yeah.
People that might be paralyzed in their right arm, so they can't really work 2 joysticks, you know?
Right, or they can't use a mouse.
Yeah, like, they are more accessible in being able to play a game outside of the normal way.
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool shit. Like, the guy was talking about just, like, all the different ways that they've helped people who have disabilities become gamers when they think they couldn't, you know?
Yeah.
It's just really cool and heartwarming. And I think that, the conversation in my mind was about, like, whether or not you can get good, not whether or not you are physically capable of playing the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if Metroid... Do you find Metroid to be... I guess you don't really have, like, insights on whether it's accessible or not because you're an able-bodied person.
I mean, it's not, but almost no Nintendo game is.
Yeah, I guess. Because the consoles are, like, handheld, and, there's probably third-party attachments or whatever that you could use to modify.
I mean, Xbox is actually a really big proponent of that. They have created, like, full controllers of their own design for people to be able to play some of their games on their console.
Yeah.
I mean, there's accessibility in, like... I feel like when you talk accessibility, that's strictly talking in a disabled way. Because you can take that as small as being colorblind.
Or, like, needing subtitles.
Yeah, and having like an accessibility for high contrast or bigger font to read those subtitles, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like accessibility is not the same as if a game is hard or not.
Yeah.
It's can I play this if I am not an average able-bodied gamer, you know?
Right, yeah. So I wanted to like clarify our past selves that we weren't like dunking on people who are not capable of playing a game due to accessibility features being missing. Like, I think that if a game is intentionally difficult for anybody to play, like if it has accessibility features but it doesn't have like a make this easier slider, I get it. Like, I think that it's easy for developers to put that shit in there. Like for Control, they had this is one thing for Control to tout about Control is they had a lot of accessibility features for it. It made me able to experience the story, even though the story was admittedly not great.
Yeah.
But I was still able to, you know, play through and beat the game, even though I hated the gameplay.
Do you think there's ever going to come a time that we don't absolutely dunk on that game?
I don't think so. I think every time I have the opportunity to mention how dog shit that game is, I'm going to bring it up. But
we are real mean to that game.
I'm sorry, Control, but you hurt me, and I spent money and time on you. Yeah, I just wanted to like clarify. I was hoping that nobody out there was offended by us saying games shouldn't be accessible.
Did we say accessible?
I don't think so, but that's the conversation that was in my mind, because that same podcast, the Besties, they had talked about Metroid in the previous week, and they talked about how they had exactly the same conversation we had, essentially. Like, it's a hard game and it's intentionally hard, so it doesn't need to be made less hard for people who are not good at it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think that is very different than accessible.
Yeah.
Which is why the Game Awards every year, which, by the way, that is coming up in a couple months.
Ooh.
They have a category for, like, a game that has provided the most accessibility in it.
Okay.
And I think last year it was The Last of Us Part 2.
Ah.
Dude, when you go into the menu for that game, for the accessibility, it's like pages of stuff.
Good. I mean, that's the ideal future, right? Like, you want people to be able to experience a game in the way the designers intended it.
So then, okay, so I feel like their accessibility, because I can think of a couple of them where I'm like, all right, that's not what we were saying, where it's like physically able to play it. Like,
yeah.
They have one where it highlights, well, I guess that's for if your eyes aren't as good, let's say, as your average person. Because there's one in there where all enemies are just highlighted in red.
Uh-huh.
It basically strips all the textures out of the game.
Okay.
And so, like, the world is gray, your character is blue, anyone bad is red, and then items that are able to be picked up are yellow.
Okay.
So, like, there's only 3 colors to focus on.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a red thing, that's bad. You know?
Yeah.
It's not, you know, all right, can I see that guy through this window the way, like, it would be, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like the term accessibility is a very broad term, because it can mean, like, you know, a huge amount of things. It could be related to someone's hearing, being able to, you know, I can't hear the game, so I can't pick up on these cues.
Yeah.
Seeing it, to doing that, to, you know, I can't hold a controller the way it's designed to be held, you know?
Right.
It's a pretty big topic.
It is.
But
there's so much in there that,
yeah.
like, depths that you and I aren't even aware of, you know, that goes into the game design and the consumer half of it.
So I will piggyback off of you with that one, because I agree. If you thought that's what we meant last time, we do apologize. That is not what we were saying. We meant if you can play the game, if you can, you know, find a way to get into the game, to be able to control it and do whatever, it's that mastery of it that I don't think the people should have to concede on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, sure, let's say you're going to play chess, right? maybe you can't move the pieces, so you get something that can move the pieces for you, but that doesn't change the idea of the game of chess.
Right.
You know what I mean? The game is still the game. Just can you be able to input what you want into it to get what you're trying to do? You know?
Right.
I think that's where accessibility comes into play. Can I access the game? Not
yes.
Can I be good at the game? That's
Not
a different
can I beat
question.
the game?
That's a different question.
Yes.
Because there are a bunch of games that I've put down because I just was like, no, too hard. Done.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to do that. And I'm fortunate enough to be pretty able-bodied. But, you know, if a game pisses me off a little too much, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
The end. I'm not that interested. I guess just speaking more on games, because I've been trying to play some games lately.
Okay.
This is a different type of accessibility
Okay.
that I would like to discuss with you. It was Lara Croft's birthday the other day.
Okay.
Monday, August 25th, was the 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, right?
Nice.
I've never really played them until the newer ones. And Taylor had always wanted to play the older ones, and she was like, I'm ready to do that.
Okay.
Make that happen for me.
Okay.
I was like, all right, well, I think I bought them on the PlayStation 3 because you could buy PS1 games digital then. I was like, all right, I'll have to set that up. So I found my PlayStation 3, set it up, and that was a whole mess in and of itself because I had to try to find a controller and then get it charged, and then, like, my one good controller's gone, and I just had this little crappy one. So I was like, all right, well, I got it all working. There's Tomb Raider. It's right there. Press play, it works. Because I downloaded it for years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, 2 and 3 aren't on there. After you play tonight, I'll figure out how to get this thing signed back in, because, like, the PlayStation 3 wouldn't sign in, even though I was using my right password. And it turns out you have to do something special on their actual website to get the PS3 back online.
What?
It was a whole process, right?
Jeez.
So I get the PS3 put back online, and I go to the store to buy the games, and I can't buy them.
Why not?
I don't know. You can't buy them. Like, I pulled up Tomb Raider 2 on the PlayStation Classics thing. It's sitting right there. There's no button to hit buy.
Why?
And I was like, okay, do I own it? Like, maybe it's not saying buy because I own it.
Yeah.
But I can't really figure out if I own it because there's no easy way to just go, here's the games that I own. So I combed through this list of like 800 items that I'd ever downloaded or touched on the PlayStation 3 in the time that I had it, like several times. And I never saw 2 or 3. So I was like, okay, well, I know that they were going to close the PlayStation 3 store. Sony was going to shut down those servers, no more PSN for the PlayStation 3, PSP, or the Vita.
Okay.
Right? And the world threw a hissy fit, so they're like, okay, PSP shut down, but you can have PlayStation 3 and the Vita.
Okay.
Buy games on there as long as you want still. Well, it looks like they may have already kind of turned some stuff off because you cannot buy anything.
Well, that's weird.
Like, there's games that have prices on them. Like it said, you know, The Last of Us, because that originally came out on the PlayStation 3. There it is. It says it's $20 to buy it. You click on it, there's no button to buy it. So it's not like it's just the PlayStation Classics ones. It's anything on that store.
Why?
There's no way to purchase them. And you can't access that store through their website on an actual computer. That takes you to the current PlayStation Store.
That's obnoxious.
So there's no way to do anything. And it, like, shows games that I've bought on there, and it's like, will I be able to download these again one day? I spent money on this, and will a day come that I just don't get it now? I better download them all now.
That's
or
what I'm
else
thinking.
They're gone.
Like, can you download all of them and then save them to like one of your mini terabyte hard drives and just have them?
I mean, probably. But I was like, okay, this is the first. This is like the first hit in that digital future that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because I haven't done anything. Nothing's really changed. It's just aged. And they want to close this server. And in doing that, because there's no other way for me to play the Tomb Raider games. If I want to play Tomb Raider 1 on the PS1, I either need the disc that I can put in a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 console, or that digital version on the PS3, because it's not on the 4 or 5.
Man, somebody needs to catch the fuck up.
Yeah, how the fuck am I supposed to play this game?
Yeah, that's not a good business model.
I mean, I think Xbox does it. I think if you have an Xbox, like, original Xbox game, that'll play in the Series X.
Yeah.
I think. I know it does 360 games, but I don't know about, like, original Xbox ones. And if it did, that'd be cool. But also, that controller had buttons on it that aren't on any of the controllers since, so there's some games, I don't know how you could play them.
I mean, you could probably remap the controls, right?
Well, no, it had more buttons than are on current controllers.
Well, that's weird.
Because they had a black and white button back then.
Huh.
They had the 2 triggers, Y, X, B, and A, and then a black and white button.
Where was the black and white button?
Underneath the like 4 buttons on the controller.
Weird.
And I know that because the one game that I would play from the original Xbox on there used those buttons a lot.
Okay.
It's Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005.
What?
I love the Tiger Woods games. They're so good.
Oh my god, I learn new things about you every single episode.
I like golf, by the way. Golf is cool. I love golf. I can, like, watch it on TV and just be like, "Wah!" and get all crazy with it. It's so fun.
All right.
So, to that end, one of the games that they released on PlayStation Plus for this month was 2K21, some golf game or whatever.
Okay.
So I've actually been playing the shit out of that, and I'm not great at it, but it's as close as I can get to Tiger Woods 2005, because it was the greatest golf game that existed.
All right.
But, like, if I put that game in the Xbox, I don't know if I could even play it, because there's 2 buttons that just disappeared from Xbox controllers.
I need to Google this, just so I know for my personal peace of mind. Can you play an Xbox game on Series X? Not Xbox One games. Xbox game.
Yeah, like, how do you... OG Xbox game. Like,
what games are
how do you say that?
compatible? Xbox.
Can you play original
backward.
Xbox games on Series X?
Okay. Looking at backward compatibility here. Oh, here we go. Original Xbox games. So there is a list of backwards compatible games, and there's 38 of them.
38? That's not a lot.
It is not a lot.
And I bet Tiger Woods 2005 is not on there.
Let me have a look for you, just in case.
Because they'll be like, no black and white button, sorry.
They got Destroy All Humans. They got Psychonauts. They got KOTOR. It's probably going to be all the, the big uns. Blood Rain. Fuck yeah. I haven't thought about Blood Rain in years.
They're remaking Blood Rain, by the way.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I'm real excited.
Wow. Hunter the Reckoning? Oh my god, did you ever play that game?
No.
Oh, it's so good. It was so stupid. You play a little vampire hunter. It's just the most fun.
Aw.
There's like a woman in it with pants that are half pants and half shorts, and it was one of my first loves.
Oh my god.
I don't see your Tiger Woods game. I'm so sorry.
Exactly. See?
But they do have the King Fighters of Neo Wave.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Basically none of the games that I owned.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like all the Star Wars games, though. They really care about preserving the Star Wars.
Yeah, they do. So, I've talked about the digital future and how, like, it scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
And most people are like, but, like, why would it ever go away? Well, why would it ever go away? Like, we think Steam is so untouchable. But, like, what if Steam closes one day? There will be a day when Steam is going to go. Steam will not be here forever.
But
there are very few things that are. If it is, I will be so happy. Like, Steam is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to now say that I have grown to like it more because of its preservation.
Yeah.
Because I can get Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 on Steam.
Hell yeah.
And they're, like, a little bit better. Like, the graphics are, like, slightly cleaned up.
Yeah.
So it's not like playing the original game, but I can still play the game, so that's cool enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that's cool about PC gamings is that, like, you don't have to worry about backwards compatibility. It's pretty much always going to be playable as far as I know.
I mean, yeah, because it can only work better
Yeah.
going forward.
And that's the beauty of emulation, too. Like, so many games from the original consoles are now available on emulators on a PC.
And see, people... Emulating is such a... I feel like this is a secret deep dive that we're doing. Sorry, guys. Emulation is such an iffy topic. What do you think about it?
I love emulation. I think that... I mean... I know it's touchy because people are like, you have to buy the game before you emulate it. But, like, what if I want to play, I don't know, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I never got the chance to buy it as a child? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I emulate that legally? Does that feel fine? I mean, I will wave the pirate flag. I don't give a shit about pirating any kind of media. I do it. I know it's problematic, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have less money than those people.
Here's the thing. How are you going to give your money to Conker now?
Yeah.
Are you going to go out to eBay and buy a copy on N64 to feel justified in playing a cleaned up version?
Right.
Emulate it now, you know?
I think that emulation is a touchier subject for more modern stuff because I know that, like, less than a week after Metroid came out, Metroid Dread, there were emulators up and running in 4K.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I own it, so I was like... And I own it multiple times over.
You sure do.
But I was like, I just don't want to go through the trouble of figuring that out. You know? So I just didn't worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, for older stuff...
And for stuff that you just can't get here, like there was not a release for a couple of Phoenix Wright games. And so we did like a fan translation emulated for them because we just can't fucking buy them here. And the fan translation is good enough.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I'm for it. There's some game, like I wanted to play the Paper Mario games before Origami King. And people were selling that game for $300 a piece.
Dear God.
And it was like, okay, I can spend $300, or I can just go play it.
Yeah, or I could spend $0 and hang out in my home and play it. Like,
yeah,
I don't.
And granted, I didn't play it because, like, stuff was missing from the screen.
Yeah,
like it was a bad emulation, I guess. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna play it then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, like, play it and go, okay, I'm imagining Bowser standing there when he's not, you know? Like, that didn't work for me.
I think that emulation is a great way also to preserve games. Like, emulators were made for the purpose of game preservation almost, you know?
Yeah.
And I just think if a person loves a company enough, they're going to support them. There's always going to be support. Like, you bought 2 copies of Metroid, even though you could have emulated it for free.
Yeah.
And I've bought every single Phoenix Wright game a couple of times. We bought them on the Wii just to see how they would look. We bought them again on the Switch just to see how they would look. So,
like, here's what I heard somebody say one time, and I totally believe it. If companies would give us, because that's the thing, like, where else am I supposed to play? I mean, like, you bought a game that you just like.
Yeah.
I want to play Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door because Origami King came out, and they say nothing tops 1,000-Year Door.
Right.
So I want to play the best in the franchise. How am I supposed to play it? Nintendo didn't ever put it on the Virtual Console when they did that again. They've never re-released it. Like, how am I supposed to play it?
Yeah.
And this one guy said, if you would give consumers easy, legal access to your games, they will always pay.
Yeah. Because why not? It's convenient. I give you $20, you give me Paper Mario.
Yeah. Like, they put Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on the 3DS for the 20th anniversary or some shit.
Yeah.
And I spent $30 and bought all 3 of them. I own them all multiple times over.
Yeah.
But I could have them on my 3DS so easily in my pocket.
Right. Like the same thing with the Mario thing that they released last year for the Switch. Like,
Yes.
it was 3 games. It was the exact same games. They didn't update them at all, but I just wanted to be able to play them on the Switch if the nerve struck, you know?
Yeah. I don't know why. I mean, I know that you have to work around the entire structure of how your console like renders and outputs games to get an older game to play on something new, and I know that that takes time.
Sure.
But you can't tell me that the amount of cost that it would take if you just kept up with it versus how many times I've bought Super Metroid on every Nintendo console that it's available on. I've bought it like 5 times over.
Right.
You bought Phoenix Wright 3 times over because
Yeah.
it was on a new system.
Exactly.
You can't tell me that if you didn't just like kind of keep up with it, you wouldn't recoup the cost from people double, triple dipping, or in my case, quintuple dipping. Like I bought it on the Super Nintendo, I bought it on the Wii, I bought it on the Wii U, I bought it on the 3DS, and I didn't have to buy it on the Switch, but if you had to charge me money, I'd have bought it on the Switch.
Yeah.
That's 5 times on all systems. So I can just play it whenever and wherever I want to.
Right.
But they don't do that. So you leave no choice but emulation and pirating, in a sense, you know?
Yeah, it's like when the consumer has nothing left that they can do, we will get it illegally.
Yeah. So I'm going to get them on Steam, and we're going to wind up playing every Tomb Raider game on Steam, because every single one of them is on Steam.
Good. And see, like, you're able to get it legally, so you do it.
And they're $7 a piece. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah, that is cheap as hell. That is worth it.
I mean, I'm still gonna wait for some kind of Steam sale, and maybe swing them for $5 to $4 a piece. But
yeah, maybe.
This is the first time I've been burned by the idea of the digital front.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing I can do. There's no choice. All
You're
these games that I spent money on, they're just gone now.
You're at the mercy of companies, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry to backdoor deep dive you.
I mean, I know that everyone's into it, and I know that it is what companies want in the future, because I just saw a video where they were talking about simply the cost of putting a game on a disc, getting it to a store, and how much they lose in the profits, right? Versus I sell it on my storefront and boom, 100% of it's mine.
Yeah.
Like, there's more money to be had in the digital, but they also have more control to keep it away from me.
Right.
So it's like they're maximizing profits and gaining control, and all we're gaining, they gain twofold, and we only gain having less clutter.
Right.
Like, I think we come out on the losing end of the digital front, as opposed to them. Because then they can turn around and just be like, you know what, Kelsey? Your whole Steam library, gone. Because, Apple did that to me once already.
Did they?
I bought a whole bunch of stuff on iTunes, and they took whole albums away from me.
Oh my god. And they didn't refund you.
And I was like, hey, where's my shit? And they were like, oh, well, can you prove you bought it? And they wanted me to dig out receipts from like 5 years ago.
Oh my god.
And I had 2 of the 3 things that I was trying to find. And so they gave me back those and just said, well, sucks to suck on that one. And said, too bad. But I know that I bought them. You know how I know?
How?
When you bought them digital, you got like the book that would come in a normal CD with it.
Yeah.
And that was on my iPod. So if that only came from me buying it digital, why do I have the art book that comes with that purchase on my iPod? Because I bought it from you. And they were like, gotta have a receipt. And I had bought it like 6 years before.
Jesus.
So, like, you expect us to keep receipts for, like, 20 years? And be like, oh, all right, Kelsey, you want Back for Blood again? Well, can you prove the day that you bought it?
God.
Can you prove that you bought it to me? And you're like, no, that was when I was getting my AC fixed. I didn't give a fuck about that receipt. And they're like, well, then you just don't own it now.
Okay.
I think that's shitty.
Yeah, that is shitty.
I mean, I'm glad that I found another route, but it's like, I already did this.
Yeah.
And it just makes me scared that any company can do it. I mean, it's happened to me multiple times.
And it probably won't be the last time.
It won't be, and I think that's crazy, because like these people with their Steam libraries that are like thousands of games huge.
Yeah.
If they took away access to games, you probably wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You have so many. Are you really keeping track? All right, I have 1,895, and you know it every day.
Man,
you know?
I have 53 games that are not downloaded on Steam, and if you took away half of them, like I would never know.
Yeah.
Like I have played probably half of the ones that are in here.
Exactly. Like I think it's a weird, like the digital practice freaks me out. Like I like it for things that I don't care about too much.
Yeah.
Like I've bought a couple of movies on Vudu, just been like, I just want to watch it real quick. I don't care what happens to it now. You know?
Right.
But like things like this where like you're not giving me another choice or have no other avenue, it's frustrating as the person trying to consume something.
Yeah,
that you've paid for. Anyway, that happened. It's been freaking me out lately, but I had a plan, and I'm going to be trying out something new.
Okay.
Actually, because this just happened last night, so we are recording right now. Last night, something went live, and I just wanted to give you some quick thoughts about it.
Okay.
The new Switch Online plan went live last night. The expansion pack one.
Yes. So, are you going to upgrade?
I already did.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it went live. I upgraded because
All right.
I have 8 people on it. So, like I have my family plan maxed out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cost me the full price because I split it amongst my 8 people.
I guess that makes sense.
So it's not really impacting me. And I was like, all right, does everybody want to pay more?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't want to? Because that's going to be a factor. Because if like half you guys don't want it, I'm not getting it.
Did you just have like a big group text with all these people? Be like, are you going to pay me?
Pretty much. And I got money from everybody. Everybody wanted it.
All right, cool.
Because they're not paying $80 a piece.
Yeah.
Like, when you're saying this is an $80 item, but you only want $10 from me, of course it's a deal. So you want it. You know, like,
right.
Nobody was going to say no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, got it last night. Started with it immediately.
And what do you think?
There's not a lot there.
Oh, man.
I played all the N64 games last night.
All of them?
I mean, there's 6 of them.
Oh, okay.
I was like, all right, Mario Kart, cool, did that. Mario Tennis, let's play a little tennis. I was like, that's fucking harder than I remember. Star Fox, okay. The C buttons don't really work anymore because they don't have C buttons on modern controllers, so
yeah.
They mapped it to the right joystick, and I can't do a fucking barrel roll.
Ugh.
I was like, that's hard. Let's play this one. And I was like, oh, okay, it looks all right. It's like, okay, well, I'm bored. Now what? You know?
Yeah.
So actually, I went to the Sega games, and I played through all of Shinobi 3, because that game's fucking dope. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay.
But I beat it, so now what? Like, there's not a lot to do, you know?
Yeah.
For double the price. And I heard that Nintendo's saying it's Sega's fault.
Oh.
They were saying that the licensing fees that they wanted to put those games on there are why we have to pay more.
Okay.
Like, we're paying because Sega wanted a lot of money. And I'm like,
just throw them
I don't know how much I buy it. Sure, throw that out there as the reason, but like, I need a bit more proof, you know?
Yeah.
And just like, well, they said, you know.
They wanted it, so, you know.
It's been not even 12 hours, and I'm like, done with it.
Shit.
Mario Kart's probably fun online, but nobody else is upgraded, so who am I going to play it with, you know?
Yeah.
That like wants to play Mario Kart?
I mean, I would want to play Mario Kart, but I haven't upgraded it.
I know, and are you gonna?
Probably not, honestly. If it's like just those games, I don't really care.
Because here's the thing, because Ismail asked me today in the Discord, and I thought about it last night too. I think the price increase is only in effect if you want that extra shit.
Okay, so like for
I think
me,
you can stick with the normal one, and it's still $20 a year.
Okay, well,
Or you can get this extra stuff, and it's $50.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with the normal one.
Yeah, because my mom plays Animal Crossing, and she's, sending me stuff on the island, and I was like, oh, Mom, they did that update. They may want more money from you.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, they didn't say anything. And I was like, well, let me think about it. I was like, well, why would they? Because you're not asking for the expansion pack. You don't care about those extra games. They were already charging $20 for this. I don't think they can just raise the price and force you to grab that optional upgrade.
Yeah.
So I think it's only more if you want the 64 shit.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's still $20 and $35, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not worth it for the bigger one. I only did it because I have a means that works for me to have it. Like if you and Richard wanted it. Well, one, it's just the two of you, so it's just $80 out of your own pocket.
Right.
Not worth it. So let's say it's you and somebody from another household, so you split it in half, 40 apiece. Still probably not worth it,
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of games, and I just don't have a desire to go play these. And honestly, if I did, I would emulate them.
Like the only one I want is Paper Mario.
Yeah.
I want to play the original Paper Mario.
And that one's not even on there yet. It's confirmed to be coming, but it's not there yet.
It's coming, so it might be good later, but right now this is a fucking piss poor deal. I think it's awful. I've said that before already, but now actually having it, this fucking sucks.
All right. Well, I mean, at least you have it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that does mean I get the Animal Crossing DLC for free.
That's nice.
So, come the 5th, I just get to start playing that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you got to pay $25 and stay on the normal plan.
Right.
But like I said in the last show, you come out better. Because you pay it one time and then you're done, where I'm going to pay on it for the rest of time.
Right. But I mean, you're not paying the full price. I think if you were paying the $80, I think that's a terrible deal and you should just buy the expansion.
Yeah.
But since you're on the family plan and you have a bunch of people on it, it's probably worth it for you.
Yeah. But I'll never own that DLC. I will constantly be paying a subscription to it.
Yeah.
Forever. So I'll wind up paying more than $25 for it.
Right.
So I just think it's bad all around.
Just bad.
But I got it. Oh, and people are saying, actually a lot of stuff has come out that the 64, because what they do is they actually emulate these games.
Oh.
There's an emulator built in that you're just accessing that emulator and playing their games.
Okay.
So Nintendo's really big on striking down people that have their ROMs and stuff online.
Yeah.
But then they've downloaded those same ROMs and are now selling them to us.
That's so sinister. It's so corporate.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Damn.
But most of the 64 games don't even work properly.
Really?
Well, like I told you, I couldn't fucking barrel roll last night.
Yeah.
It was do this button press, and I was like, it's not doing it. I haven't beat the first level. I think I can play it. But why can't I do this maneuver?
That's why they're trying to sell you those new controllers that they had.
Yeah, probably. Well, apparently all the fog in all the games isn't rendering right. So apparently a lot of the games look bad, and then somebody said that there's really bad input lag.
That's rough.
I kind of thought that might be true, because I was playing Mario Tennis, and I was like, I used to be fucking bomb at this game. And, I couldn't hit a serve to save my life.
Okay, it's not Old Memory of Lex's the
And
video game that's bad.
I was like, I'm not that bad at this game, right?
Okay.
But I watched a video where they tested it today, and they were like, nah, it's the same. It's
okay.
Good. So I was like, all right, I just fucking suck at N64 games now. Because I was bad at all of them. And I wasn't even bad at Mario Kart, but you know what? Fuck Wario. Because I was just cruising so far ahead. I had 3 mushrooms. I'm just blazing by, and he just like slingshot past me like I was fucking going so slow. And I was like, fuck this little fat dude. Where did he come from?
He comes from everywhere. Wario is omnipresent.
I was pissed. So I stopped playing all the 64 games. Hate them.
Okay.
If they ruin my experience with GoldenEye, I will get pissed.
I can't wait to hear about that when that happens eventually.
We will see. But I will buy one of those controllers for that one, though.
You better. As long as they release the gold one.
Yeah.
I have one last thought for you.
Okay.
So in our Friday roundup last week, I covered the Steam tabletop convention thing that was happening.
Yes.
And actually today, the date that we're recording this, is the last day that it's available. So if y'all missed out on it, you done missed out. But I bought Gloomhaven because that was not on sale, but like advertised as part of the tabletop RPG video game package. So I've been playing Gloomhaven for years. This is actually a game that I did kickstart. And we've been playing it on tabletop for as long as it's been out. So they just released the video game version of it, which is like, it mimics the actual board game, but it also has a campaign of its own that's separate entirely. So it's new stories, same characters and all that, but new lore and new places to explore, which is really exciting. Yeah. And the thing about this game, first of all, the box for it, like for the board game, is enormous. It is easily the largest game on my shelf. It's the size of a small dog. And setup for it it's just so much.
It's hefty.
It's hefty. It takes an hour to set up and tear down, basically.
Jesus, okay.
So it's always like a dedication. You have like a group of people that come over on a specific date and you like put it together and then you play it and then you tear it down, and it's like it's an event. So for the video game, it's so easy. You just go in and like things are already set up for you. It's good. Amazing.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm playing it with just Richard. We're having the time of our lives. It's always nice to have, just like a husband and wife game that we can play together, because we have so many games that we're playing with our friends and with other people, and it's always good to just come back and have like some husband and wife time over a video game. And Gloomhaven is doing that for us right now, and it's making me happy. It's really good. It's overwhelming a little bit because there's just so many things, but the board game is overwhelming, so I kind of expected it from the video game. Yeah. But so far so good with it. I like it a lot, and I recommend it to anybody out there who enjoys tabletop video gaming. It is really similar to Divinity Original Sin, if you have played that. Okay. It's just real good. I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Well, good.
All right. You ready to pack up this game?
Yeah, I'm ready to wait for a Steam sale.
Hang up the old controller.
Oh, no. I will be bringing the controller. All right, guys. Please tell your friends about us. Help us grow this lovely audience. You guys are beautiful. You're the beautiful people. We love you guys. We love being in your ears. Your lovely, beautiful ears. Don't forget to subscribe to us on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode, because we release weekly, every single Monday. The Yimtope guarantee, stamp of approval, take it to the bank, however you want to say it. It's a guaranteed foolproof thing. And if you love that about us, you want to see us go on to do more stuff, please take a second to go out to Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating, and maybe a little nice words in a review. That would help us out so much and mean a lot to us too.
And please don't forget, you can also find us and friend us on each and every social media. We are at YMBTOAP. That stands for You Must Be Thinking of Another Podcast. You can find us there on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We just wrapped up Streamtober, and I want to say a huge thank you specifically to the people who watched, because I love you so much. We love you for coming out, for showing support. It was a really, really fun Streamtober. We had a good time.
It was our most successful Streamtober to date, I would say.
I would agree. And thank you all so much for showing up and showing out. And thank you especially to our patrons for supporting us monetarily. You can also email us at ymbtoap@gmail.com. We want that listener mail. How do you feel about emulation? How do you feel about game accessibility? Are you a person with a disability who has to modify the way you play games? We're interested in that shit. Let us know.
And don't forget, our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Faraj. Please check him out on YouTube. Go show him as much love as you show us. We are a big community of creators. Let's go give everybody just all the love that we can. And as always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. Am I going to become a Steam junkie now?
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
Oh,
Whoa.
shit. Oh,
Just
sorry.
throw one.
No, my Switch was on its little tiny kickstand, and I
Oh.
barely bumped it, and it flew across the room. 'Cause,
Well,
you know.
if that's not an advertisement for the new Switch, I don't know what else is.
I know. Let me tell you about this mess before I tell you about a different mess.
Okay.
Did you see with the new Switch? There's a guy who put out a video going, how durable is the new OLED Switch model? And it's him taking, like, a box cutter and, like,
Whoa.
shaving on the screen.
What?
And, like, holding a lighter to the screen for, like, 10 minutes at a time just to see how durable it is.
What the fuck?
It's it hurt me as a person that likes technology to
Yeah.
watch this happen.
Tortured that poor baby.
I'll have to send it to you guys. It was the mess. I didn't watch the real thing. I just saw like the clips as somebody else talked about it.
How durable is it?
I guess durable enough because he beat the shit out of it and was still playing Breath of the Wild. So
Okay.